since Mr. Mark has done such a wonderful job of training y'all how to answer, if we could just stay in that pattern. Wouldn't y'all, if you would, if any of y'all have children, wouldn't you like your children to have the same opportunity or a better opportunity than you have had in today's America? Yeah, and then do all of y'all work under budgets? Yeah, meaning you can only revenue comes in and you spend that revenue, and I just want to make sure we level the playing field as to why maybe some of these cuts are. I do understand, and I'm just shocked at the constant problem of permitting and uncertainty. I think it's Dr. Plazinski's slide. If you would mind, I'd like to borrow that and make it a yard sign for the White House and the Capitol. The guy that's climbing up the hill in the permitting process. Because we have that in all of the industries. In fact, I think it was, I can't see the names over there. Let's see. Where's my names? Well, one of you said that you're having problems in the judicial process. And so my question to each of you would be, wouldn't you all support an across-the-board reform of the judicial process and the permitting process in the federal government? Across the board, meaning for all industries, whether it be solar, wind, nuclear, oil and gas?
Congressman, getting certainty around siting and permitting is extraordinarily important. So if we could figure out a way to protect the environment and yet make a timely, efficient process, that would be extraordinarily important.
It's regardless of the industry. It should be that for every industry. Ms. Susan?
Yes, certainty in the process is paramount, but also a focus. The fast track program that we've heard about today has been very successful for solar so far. We haven't seen that for wind, and we think that there needs also to be a focus on getting things on a fast track, but also getting them out at the other end. So a focus on outcomes and delivery is also helpful.
For all industries?
For all industries, in business,
Great.
in government, everywhere.
Great.
Focus on the outcome is important.
Great.
I think any time we can cut unnecessary delays and procedures across a wide range of industries is a good thing.
Congressman, I can only speak to the offshore wind industry perspective on this. I can't speak to the industry-wide question that you've raised. We work with lots of different stakeholders, and there are a number of groups, mostly national environmental groups, that have concerns about the National Environmental Policy Act. They feel that it's a very important component of their role in protecting the environment and endangered species, and they would have perhaps wanting a better understanding of how we get to that certainty, and we work closely with them. So we would want to work with those national groups to have a better understanding of how judicial reform and some of the other certainty questions that you're asking would apply.
Wait, but who had the problem with the Eagle? Okay. All right. Okay. You understand? Look, y'all can be nice and sugarcoat this over here, and then, or you can just say it as it is, and that is that we're having a problem with uncertainty in any industry. And I think it's fair to say that regardless of what industry, whether it's the solar or the wind or the oil and gas industry or the nuclear industry, we should be out here, this federal government should be out here getting the message that we need to create certainty in all of the industries. It's not fair for us to create certainty in your wind industry and solve the problem of the eagles for you to build your wind farm when there may be a snail that's inhibiting the chairman's ability to build a hydro dam. What I'm saying is everyone has to be on the same level playing field, and that's what I'm trying to get y'all to tell me is whether or not y'all support everyone being on the same playing field or not in the permitting and the statutory, in the permitting and the judicial process.
But before I came to the solar industry, I worked in the natural gas industry, a lot of time on lands issues, very similar kinds of issues that the solar industry is facing today. So I could say pretty clearly that both industries would be able to substantially lower costs to the consumer for their products if you had a streamlined regulatory and permitting process, yes.
Yeah, I agree. There needs to be common standards, certainty, and predictability.
As part of my work, I see what other countries are doing. So for instance, the Netherlands does have a much more standardized permitting process for shopping centers, everything. At the same time, we have to have the guts to be able to kill these projects too. Right now, we let them drag on and just whack at them with a dull knife. If it's a bad project, I think we need to kill it as well.
Real quickly, we have a vote going, so answer real quickly. So we want to get these questions in before the vote ends. Go ahead, Mr. Rankin.
Certainty certainly helps, but I think we've got to strike the right balance between the speed of development and other key issues like environmental protection.